Hey everybody, welcome back to Foreign Post. I'm Steve Susans. Today we are looking at value chains and the reason value chains are so important in developing countries, especially in a field like agriculture. When you look at the developing world, the majority of the countries that are within that category rely on agriculture as their main source of revenue. It could be everything from crop production to livestock, and how they work agriculture in their country is vitally important for not only for revenue but for employment, for food security, a host of different issues. And of course, it's so delicate. Anything could wipe it out. Devastation from natural disasters, from war, conflict. It plays a huge role in the market and for the farmers to get actually a product and then get it to market so they can make enough income to take care of their families. Value chains are basically built on an input, so it's the seed, it's the product, whether it's corn or wheat or dates or even livestock. It's producing that. So during the production process, you've got months and months of weather changes and different veterinary changes. If you've got livestock, you got to make sure everybody's healthy. So you got feed costs, you got fertilizer costs, you've got irrigation. So once you have your product, whether it's your livestock or whether it's the wheat or the bushels of whatever grain, then it's getting into a place where you can market that, to find the places to get it to the consumer or to buyers that are actually going to do that. That will buy it, you make a profit, the government gets their money, and it's this continuing cycle. But again, it's a very delicate and a very difficult way of life for so many, especially in these developing countries. Now, one country that has looked at this is or that is starting to make a difference is Afghanistan. USAID has really worked on creating markets for the Afghan farmers in everything from dried fruit to cashmere to apples. I mean, all of those commodities have a place or trying to find a market for those, which has been built by USAID over the last couple of years. Saffron is huge there, the saffron industry. The other one is pomegranates. So a couple of years ago, India played a huge role in helping Afghanistan get their foot on the ground. They established an air cargo agreement between India and Afghanistan, which basically became a new Silk Road, kind of a 21st century Silk Road, that products from Afghanistan could come into India, which were in demand. The air cargo system also offered, or at least gave an opportunity to address some of the questions or some of the issues that Afghan farmers were going through. One of them was corruption. You've got your products, you get to the airport, you've got all of these bundles of product, and you've got to pay people off at the airport. You've got graft, you've got going through checkpoints just to get your goods certified. There's more money there, so you're paying so much out at the time years ago. Now, USAID has been so good about changing those situations. In fact, back in 2018, the push was going on to establish a one-stop shop for cargo, especially agriculture, where folks could come in, and it eliminated or eliminates so much of that craft or graft and corruption, and it makes it easier for the farmer to get their product certified, get it inspected, and be able to put it on a plane to India or other destinations. The other thing that USAID established was a trade and investment show, or to an opportunity to showcase the Afghan product. Nearly 150 vendors in 2017 came down to Delhi and made close to $200 million in potential deals. I mean, at least 30 million in signed deals. A lot of it came from agriculture, and you really have to hand it to the agriculture folks at USAID and their partners to solidify those. Apples was a big one in 2017. At the time, India was struggling to get imports of apples from other countries. And once the show hit, they saw the opportunity to buy as many Afghan apples as possible. And those contracts were going right and left, right out the door. And it was amazing to watch how much of this was happening. But it wasn't just agriculture. There was education parts of this. There was health. There was infrastructure. Solar power was a huge thing during those trade shows. And it was such a success that once again, they did another one a year later, just last year in Mumbai, which also brought millions of dollars worth of sales and really helped establish Afghanistan and their market to really kind of push them forward. Because at the time, before the shows and before this air cargo agreement between the two countries, it was fledgling. I mean, it was dire circumstances for the farmer and agriculture industry and there in Afghanistan. Just to give you a kind of a sense of that, air cargo exports more than doubled from close to 2,000 tons in 2016 to now more than 5,000 tons. And the value of the goods also jumped from nearly $250 million in 2016 to over $500 million. Over five, that's doubling it within 2 years. Now they're opening markets, and the opportunity, not only, I mean, the indirect, it's not just the government and the farmers, but the indirect from air cargo companies, from vendors, from restaurants and so forth, to be able to offer saffron and other goods from Afghanistan has been huge. In fact, Mark Cuban signed a deal just last year, I think in 2017, with an Afghan-based saffron company. And that kind of put it on the map too, because it was part of the Shark Tank show and really kind of boosted the idea of Afghan products being available and having that open it up. Now, are there still issues? You bet. There's still issues with weather. There's still issues with conflict. And now that the U.S. Is looking to possibly pull out of Afghanistan, there's also questions of where this is going to go, how the trade would go. Do they go back to a system where it's corruption once again plays a huge role in that? One of the things we want to do is talk to some of the folks from Transparency International as well as USAID about that situation and what happens with that. Carol Wilson, I got to give props where they are. Carol Wilson, the director of agriculture for USAID in Afghanistan, has done an amazing job, and her predecessor Gary Robbins also played a huge role in that. On the economic side, Lawrence Stoddard, Louis Samoy, and as well as the former mission director Herbie Smith, really solidified the idea that Afghan products and helping boost that economic situation there in Afghanistan, they played a huge role in that, and you got to tip your hat to them. So more information I'm sure that you want to look into. USAID.gov Afghanistan has information. You can also get on some of the partner websites. Roots for Peace is one. There's several others that have played a role in this and that have ongoing work that's being done there in Kabul and other areas in Mazar Sharif and other places as well. So check it out. We'll have more and more stories about this. In fact, we want to do a story on cold storage, which is another issue that not only Afghanistan but other developing countries deal with on a daily basis. But if you've got stories about cold storage or agriculture, and not only in Afghanistan but anywhere in the world, send us your information. We'd love to hear from you. The info at ForeignPost.com is open 24 hours a day, and you can send us your pictures and your videos, whatever you like. We'd love to hear those stories and see if we can get them on the air or also on the website. And the website is ForeignPost.com, of course. Helping those who help others. That's our motto here. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks so much.